they collide. They shouldn't. The mother's rights are definitely separate than the wife's rights. But the disturbance in the force happens when the mother wants to control the daughter-in-law, wants to mingle in her affairs, wants her to be her servant. With all due respect to mother-in-laws, sons-in-laws, father-in-laws, I usually don't like to give such speeches before dinner because okay, Sheikh, Jazakallah khair, take you to the hotel again. But khalas, I was forced to do this, I have to say it. This is the conflict. When the mother-in-law says, why do you go to your in-laws every week? Don't take your wife to her parents. It's none of your goddamn business, although, excuse my French. It's none of your business. No, I'm the mother. You're the mother of your son. If he takes his wife to eat outside, it's none of your business. Take your nose out of it. You don't have the rights to say and order your son, let your wife clean my room, let your wife cook for me, let your wife massage my feet. You are not her mother. You are his mother. He does this for you. And the boy, the so-called husband, has to man up and say, Mom, I love you, I respect you, I'll do whatever you want. But you have no rights over this woman. Her mother has rights over her, not you. I know this is unacceptable before dinner or after dinner in here, in this society. This is Allah's law, not mine. And unfortunately, I get, wallahi, hundreds of similar situations, all wanting this to happen. I got a Pakistani family in my house once for counseling. This is for Allah, was free before I became greedy. And they took 2 hours of my time. Wallahi, it was suffocating. But they came to my house, and that was the last time I had person-to-person counseling because it consumes time and it's dangerous. A woman came, she was in her 40s, with her son, 22 years of age, and her daughter-in-law, 18. And they came, the poor daughter-in-law was shivering like a small bird, very frightened, not able to speak. And the son was a little bit agitated, but his mom is, mashallah, typical Pakistani woman. Whoa! I was afraid, you know, I had my armors ready, my shield for riot control, everything was ready, gas, bombs, everything was, alhamdulillah. And they started talking, and she started firing. She doesn't cook, she always sleeps until 10 o'clock, she doesn't clean, she doesn't do this, she doesn't do that. And I'm trying to explain to her, in a nice diplomatic way, that she is obliged in Islam only to serve her husband and the children. If she does this out of her goodwill for you, may Allah reward her. She is a very kind and righteous woman. But this is not an obligation. She wouldn't budge, she wouldn't understand. And then I understood. And I said, would you like your son-in-law to treat your daughter like this? She said, no. I said, did you like what your mother-in-law did to you 30 years ago? She said, no. But this is how I lived. This is how I was treated. She treated me, she abused me, she made me do this and this and this. I was looking at her, okay, why are you doing this to this young woman instead of retracting the mistakes that happened and be fair? She said, because I tasted it, she must taste it. This is dhulm. When dhulm happens to you, you become an advocate to defend the needy. But when you insist on cascading the dhulm, then you have a problem. So with all due respect, when it comes to rights, the son is obliged to devote 100% of his time and efforts to be dutiful to his parents without jeopardizing his wife's rights. Now, financially, we have to look, because so many people are rich, are capable, but they demand that their son gives them 50%, 70% of his earnings, and then he does not spend anything on his wife. No, this is not mandatory. As a son, I'm not obliged to give 1 penny to my father unless he needs it. And I give him what he needs, providing he doesn't use it to give my siblings. I earn and work and I give my father, and my father gives it to my siblings. This is not fair. He uses it for himself, for his wife, that is my mom, 100% okay, without jeopardizing my wife's rights. So I don't give 80% to my parents because they need it, and give nothing to my wife, and she wants food, she wants clothes, my children needs to go to school, but say, what can I do? A lot of the culture from here I know, because I get, as I said, tens of thousands of questions a year, 80% from Pakistan.